So, when you feel negative emotions towards someone, it can be scary because you try your best to refrain from causing harm, escalating a fight, or saying the same thing to hurt people. But it's not an option to hurt somebody physically. You can't physically hurt somebody just because you don't agree with them. That's not something that's going to change anything. But if you seriously are hurt by someone and it's impossible to take away your pain, then you have to do a kind of like a swap out of that situation. You have to do something where you bring yourself away out of your own body so that you stop feeling those emotions. So you have to disassociate away from the negative experiences into a calm state where nothing can bother you. Because the key to pain, the key source to overcoming pain is peace and comfort. So if you're in a lot of pain, you need to get to a place with yourself where you feel comfortable, where you feel safe, and where your body is calm all the time. Because when you feel at your calmest and your safest, that's where you let go of all of your problems. That's where people can no longer have power over you. Your calmness is your superpower. So, safety is key. When multiple red flags are apparent, you have to control your tolerance to when people mistreat you and you're accepting abuse. Self respect is setting boundaries for yourself when you're physically and mentally getting to a point where you can't stop someone from causing you to feel constant pain. If you're living in a toxic environment where the other person is not making you feel safe and you have no control over it because that is where you live, that's where you reside, and that is who you are in the moment dealt with, that's who you're dealing with, that's who you're with, in those types of scenarios, you really have no power. You really have to let go and find a way to disassociate from the other person that you're with in a toxic relationship or in just a regular normal relationship where people around you or even family members around you can make you feel a little bit upset. You have to learn how to dissociate away from them so that you can focus on yourself and get yourself to a point where you want to be. So there's options of coping skills to occupy your mind from feeling afraid or constant fear because of the protective armor built in your mind stopping you from feeling unbearable pain. So when we're going through something toxic or when something negative or traumatic has happened to us, our brain goes into safety mode, which is a fight or flight response to whatever is happening around us, making us feel scared, tense, or uncomfortable. So in this state, you're disassociating. In this state, you're very tense and nervous and you're heightened in anxiety. You're scared for your life. You don't know what you're doing. You have to pray. You have to ask God to come into your life and help you feel better for whatever's happening that's making you anxious. Because if you don't, you're going to be sitting there overthinking. And it goes back into what I was saying earlier about the loop of overthinking and negative thinking. You have to move past all that and say, this is where I'm at. I have to disassociate from this pain right now. I can't focus on this. I can't dwell on this. I have to act as if this never happened to me until I get myself together, until I feel better, so that means you have to free yourself from the pain. You have to forget about the negative things that have happened to you until you're ready mentally to challenge yourself to deal with it. So you basically have to forget for a while the negative things that have happened to you. And then you go on and you enjoy your life, you go out, you have fun, you work, you do the things that you're supposed to do for yourself. And then when you finally get to a point where you feel like you're mentally strong enough to go back and take apart the trauma that you've been through, you have to wait until you're mentally strong enough to go back there and put up with it. Because if you go back and you start unraveling the pieces when you're not ready, you'll fall into a trap of depression and overthinking and you'll lose your sanity. So you have to find ways to go back to that that thinking loop, that thinking where you're negative, you have to make it comfortable. Your thoughts should always make you feel comfortable. You can't always have happy thoughts. You can't always have positive thoughts, but you can be comfortable. Your thoughts should make you feel safe and comfortable in your body so that nothing around you can have a power over you in situations where you can't control where you're at.